after Tom was hurt, Davey Boy would have a succession of guest tag team partners. Very much a surprise to many of the fans who didn't realise Dynamite was hurt, but the WWF would still promote months afterwards that the Bulldogs were going to be there. And he had quite a lot of different tag team partners, and there were some obvious ones like Roddy Piper, Junkyard Dog, Tito Santana, but there's a few that I don't know when we're ever going to be able to mention again that I thought I'd get your thoughts on to sort of end this podcast, and one is The Crusher.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
It must have been in Milwaukee then.
Yeah.
Chicago, Milwaukee, yeah. Oh, I love Crusher, man. He was good. I was first in AWA. I was just a kid. I've been on the road not even 2 years, and I got I didn't realize what a legend he was. How legendary and stuff he was. And I was hanging around with Bull Belinsky, Frank Shields, the truck driver. He kind of took me under his wing when I got there. And Crusher lived in Milwaukee. He'd pick us up in his Cadillac. We had to go to Rockford or town, and fly into Milwaukee. And towns that we were flying, he'd pick us up in his Cadillac, drink. We'd buy, in those days they charged trans, pay so much a mile. You'd buy him, he drank cold duck. You'd think he'd be drinking beer, but he liked the bottled cold duck in the glass. So you'd buy him, cold duck to drive back on the trip. And, he was a cool guy. He was past, he didn't need wrestling family. He'd been the Crusher for already years and years. But yeah, he was really cool to us.
C. Viaffi.
Yeah. He was around there. They're trying to move a bunch of guys in to take to be another Jimmy Snuka. And there was only one Snuka. So, it kind of went around. No matter how good you looked or what you did, there's only one Snuka.
Corporal Kirshner.
Corporal Kirshner. Nice kid, good guy. Nice, good worker. But, none of these guys could move like Dynamite. They didn't have, none of them, as talented as they were, you're talking about the finest all-time, one of the top performers of all time anywhere, going down. Well, you eliminate the past 5 or 8 years or so, or 10 years of professional wrestling with all the diving and flips and things that they do now. But up until even now with this, I got to go back to that Stan Hansen match, 210-pound guy against a fit 360-pound guy, and it was competitive. He made it competitive. They both did. They both made it competitive because they're both great workers. But that's that's the beauty of the business. You're able to work towards people and convince them in one aspect or another.
I'm going to give you one more name, and then we're going to shut this podcast down. One of the strangest cats in the wrestling business ever, Billy Jack Haynes.
Billy Jack Haynes. He went off, huh? He went off too. He went off on a tangent. He would. I don't know. I wasn't around. I don't know if is drug related or when he was there, he was a nice guy, funny guy. I remember we're on one of these motor buses coming from the airport, and he got the whole flight crew telling us, "Oh yeah, we're in Portland." They're talking about an incident on the plane. Yeah, we have a bad government and stuff. And this lady went on to the hospital to amputate her leg, and they amputated the wrong leg, and she sued. And she was she lost her lawsuit. All the airplane guys, they found she didn't have a leg to stand on. But he'd suck every. He was good. He was a good guy, mellow guy. He got into a fight with Mike Sharp. I don't know what that was about. Another one, I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. But evidently he was He was a rugged guy, tough guy. And then I think the thing about being in the WWF, WWE is, you get really satisfied your way of living, your way of life, the money you're making, the hotels you're staying in, the food you're eating, where you're eating, that that you don't really, that you don't realize that you after you go, you think McMahon's supposed to take care of you the rest of your life. That you think you're supposed to be on that ride that comet all your whole life, and when you don't, you have to come down from being a superstar and enter back into the everyday world. So, you're fortunate. That's why I say I was so lucky to have surfed. Because every once in a while I pull into some big peak way out there, and that's a Madison Square Garden main event all over again. And I was able to lead a dual life. So Billy Jack Haynes, a lot of these guys, you like to talk to them and see that they went, or note that they went kind of goofy, but you don't know what was going through their mind at the time. If we talk about Brett and the championship belt with Montreal and stuff later, then that's what you don't know what, that's a whole nother ocean to cross when you get there, but you don't know what's happening, what the drugs did to the guy's mind, or what happened to the guy, after you left. Because when I was with him, we were cool. He was cool. He was always fun, always funny to be around. Intelligent, easy to get along with guy.
Well, I think that's probably the best way to wrap up then, because I'm thinking of an image of you surfing, enjoying yourself, and I've also got an image of a story I heard once of Billy Jack Haynes sat in a car with a set of pliers, chewing up his ears as a rookie because he wanted cauliflower ears to look like the veterans. So that's definitely two different ways of living.
Yeah, that's kind of the far ends of the spectrum there. Yeah, I never had to do that.